Oh. Oh. Ouchie head is everything. Ouch. Okay. Ooh. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the You Like That podcast once again. My name is Adam. I am one half of the You Like That podcast.
My name's Jack. I am the other half of the You Like That podcast.
That is very true. Welcome back to a new week, another episode, another new movie. I say new, but after doing my research, this movie actually came out 2 years ago.
Hey?
We'll get into that later. Guys, welcome back. Thank you for all the support and kind words on our last episode of our Hubie Halloween review that we did with our good boy Andrew Shepherd. It's been taken off. We've had some good couple new subs come through. We hit the 50 mark. We're at 55 now, so it's been a good little jump the last week for it.
It's very cool. People love a guest.
People love the guests. So
I ran into Shep out at the shops yesterday, and he said he hasn't watched it yet. So
yeah, he told me he still hasn't either. Which, I get it. I get it. Some
it
people don't want to see themselves on.
It is weird to see and hear yourself.
Yeah, it's a different dynamic, but he did very well, and yeah, we will have him on again in the future as we plot through and work around some new guests, because it seems to be working pretty well and people like it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we're going to up the beard game, because people were very impressed with Shepard's beard.
Honestly, so that's pretty much peak beard.
Yeah, the
man.
next person has to somehow have a better beard.
I
don't think it can be done.
No, man, you see that beard? That thing is perfect.
Yeah, it's crisp.
It's a perfect
crisp
beard. It sits perfect. We're gonna talk about it.
So let's a bit of context for the environment of this episode. It's a very gloomy Sunday.
Yep.
You and I cumulatively between us have slept about 41 minutes.
Fucking
for some reason.
Well, I was watching the
tired.
football last night, so I didn't go to bed till 1. I wake up at 6:30 to go to work. It's work on a Sunday. I'm heaps overworked right now.
It sucks, yeah.
And I got a headache, and I'm like, I'm just ready just to die.
We're just gonna. It's gonna be a chill episode.
It's gonna be a chill.
No screaming Bane impressions today.
No screaming Bane impressions. God, hell.
We'll bring it back before year's end. I promise.
100%. So, as usual, we'll jump into some news real quick. A few little snips come around here and there.
Oh, for God's sake!
Look,
we're gonna have to talk about it again, aren't we?
It's gonna be in there. It's gonna be in there. We'll get there. Our main review today is the film City of Lies, which is a film based on the murder of Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace, starring Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. We'll get to that a bit later with all the other notes I have surrounding this, but and then we'll finish up with some questions that we have at the end like usual, so thank you for everyone for sending those in, and we'll get to those. So, Jack, starting the news today, we're not going to jump into the one you want just yet.
I don't want it. I'm sick of it.
So, let's start easy. Let's start nice and easy. The Rock has confirmed Black Adam will be filming spring of 2021.
Okay.
So, it's a quick little one. Black Adam, which we found out had no release date whatsoever. They just said, no. It's going to come when we decide.
Here's
we're not
some
give it a date.
Animated storyboards, kind of.
Yep.
It's The Rock in a cape. What do you want?
Pretty much, yeah. He's now come out and confirmed that they are definitely filming spring 2021, which is the American spring. So what's that? Autumn for us?
So second quarter, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be beginning, which is always good to see. Michael B. Jordan is going to be producing a live-action version of Static Shock. It's a new hero out there that, hasn't had the light, just had the comic books and that. So good to see the Black Panther star.
Yeah.
Stepping up the producing game and bringing something new to light.
Hell yeah.
It's always good to see. Some of my favourite ones, some new set photos have come out.
Yeah.
So
it's been lots.
On the Instagram, I usually post as much as I can any set photos that I do come across. So if you aren't following us, follow us on there. The link will be in our link tree down below.
I sometimes post a story with a stupid joke. That's my contribution to that.
Generally, you can tell who is posting on our page. You can
absolutely tell.
Because I'm just trying to deliver just a more professional, just kind of like, hey, check this out.
I tend to end all mine with, I hate movies. That's how you can tell.
Pretty much.
Because I do.
You do, and that's the weird thing. We can say it every time. We're up to episode 38 or 39 now of doing movies, and
God,
you hate movies still.
Can't stand them.
And it's not going to stop. So, new set photos of the Batman.
Batman's back. Robert Pattinson, the stunt double, is back.
Yep. So Robert we had some photos of that stunt double on top of a building in England.
But most importantly, we get full Colin Farrell.
We get
we know what he looks like.
Full
we know
in-light Colin Farrell
looks like.
Standing next to Bruce Wayne himself.
He's not short and fat. He's more realistic. Super scarred up, but like...
Yep.
And still, like, you know...
He just looks cool.
Still a large man, but yeah, he looks really cool. Does not look a thing like Colin Farrell.
No, you couldn't pick it.
Absolutely.
And that was the big thing when they released that first trailer, was everyone's like, wait, Colin Farrell was in there?
He's in this? Yeah. Like...
And credits to the prosthetics people. I mean, surely on the film it's going to look even better than what it does in those set photos. But, so we got some of those. We got the building scene where it looks like it's going to be like a soaring or gliding scene down somewhere. We got the Cobblepot, Colin Farrell in there. Some newer ones just came out today of filming. They're doing like a Halloween party for the film. And they had some characters dressed up as Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So it's sort of... The big thing on the internet is, so Superman and Wonder Woman exist in this universe.
Yeah.
So everyone's sort of freaking out about that. Some people don't like that idea. Some people do.
Yeah.
It's all...
Keeping one toe in the pool, isn't it? Just in case.
Exactly. It's just sort of...
Just in case.
Bringing that there without sort of saying... Well, it's not like they're actually going to be in this. It's just sort of like, hey, he's a quick little throwaway. And then just some other... like propaganda-ish type posters sort of saying, you know, like fuck Gotham PD and all this shit.
Standard.
Moving on to the next ones is the Jurassic World Dominion set photos, which we did post a good couple of those. So
Sam Neill, full daddy mode.
Full good Sam Neill dad mode with Jeff Goldblum sharing a laugh.
Mate.
And we have Sam Neill and Laura Dern sharing a kiss.
Yeah.
Which sort of alludes to where this movie is going to be going in, for these characters' perspective. Obviously, this is whatever scene they're filming here is all of them together. So you have Chris Pratt, you have Bryce Dallas Howard, you have Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill all together in that scene there.
Yeah.
We can make that whatever we want. We haven't seen anything from the movie yet, so we don't know.
Which one of them's going to die?
Which one of them is going to die?
It'll be one of the older ones.
No, I feel like they're going to do the thing where no one's going to die.
Yeah.
They won't kill any of them off. They just can't. The only people that kill off is Vince Vaughn and the big fat guy from the first one.
I think Jeff Goldblum's going to get bitten in half.
That would be...
That's my bold prediction for the movie that comes out in fucking 16 years.
Yeah. Fuck, it's a long way away. But the big take from that one for me is the reintroduction of Biosyn Genetics. So this is a company in the film that isn't as much talked about. It's more so in the novels. But Biosyn Genetics are basically the company that were going to take the dinosaur embryos and that from the first movie when they told him, you know, come back with each specimen that you can so that, you know, we can get all this research and that they put hard yards in and we get it.
Yeah, right.
That fell apart. We didn't hear anything else from Biosyn other than in the novel of The Lost World. So this is another genetic company coming in similar to that of InGen from the Jurassic World part. And again, that's leading up to more speculation of where the movie's going to go. Where there's other scenes, there's like some other set photos are sort of establishing that this is possibly going to be set a little bit after the events of Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
And
we sort of knew that.
Yeah, so if anyone's seen, they did bring out a short film, Battle at Little Rock or Big Rock, something like that. I still haven't watched it. It's like 9 minutes long.
Jurassic World, literally our Jurassic World episode. I was like, yeah cool, I'm going to watch that.
Gotta watch that.
Right, I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's literally like a 9-minute short film about how these dinosaurs are coexisting in the world now, in the normal world of America. And so now it looks like there's... we saw a van that had a symbol of like a pterodactyl and it said Arcadia. So there could be like a certain squad or some...
Like a wrangler.
Fucking conservation team or something like that. We're getting little hints here and there of what this movie is going to start building to. And as these more photos come out, it'll start to piece itself together, but I can't wait to see a first trailer.
Yep.
And speaking of that, let's get to the last bit.
God.
More Spider-Man 3 rumours.
So basically, I was right the whole time. I got talked into, I'm wrong. And then this week, it's been a real roller coaster of emotions. Mm-hmm. And it turns out I was right the whole time. Sony,
Possibly.
Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire were all just like, fuck, what? Who? What?
Yeah.
No? What?
So the
Stop
way
this.
the way it started was speculation, rumoured that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield was signed on for Spider-Man 3. We spoke about this last week. Since those events, because they allegedly were told by a credible source from Sony themselves that this was happening, it has now come out that Sony themselves has said that's bullshit.
And there was like a recent TMZ photo of Tobey Maguire. He's fat as fuck. He's just
Yeah.
like, he's not doing Spider-Man anymore.
It's like
The problem is these media outlets get a whisper of something. Like
Yeah.
the first one gets a whisper of something, they post it, and then every other media outlet on earth just runs with it. I know we're a media outlet, like we're part of it.
yeah.
But some of them are just like, the sources are so thin. It's just like, yeah, my friend Greg saw Infinity War on opening night, so he would know Tobey Maguire is definitely in this movie.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just like, can
And
someone
then
ask
just
Greg? Like,
Yeah. Oh no, we don't know where Greg is, man.
he said it. He
Very hard to get a hold
he
of.
sounded pretty fucking confident.
Yeah.
He was a bit tired, and like, I don't know if he was looking at me
Yeah.
or like
He
he's
was holding a flask, which I'm sure might have been like a special stash of water. Could have been
yeah.
whiskey.
He also doesn't have hands, so I don't know how. I was more distracted by him not having
Exactly
hands.
right.
But he did say Tobey Maguire is definitely factually going to be in Spider-Man 3.
Exactly right.
We did get an Electro concept art, which looked leaked, but it also looked pretty fake. It
Yeah.
looked very Boss Logic-y.
Yeah.
Boss Logic rules, and he should work on
Boss
every...
Logic does.
He should work on every movie ever.
Which, the thing with Boss Logic is, I think he does.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
so
all of Marvel
believable.
that they're now like Marvel and now DC, because he did the work for the Black Adam shit.
Yeah, right.
He was part of that. He created that.
Yeah.
So all those companies are now like, we need Boss Logic to do everything. So when he
'Cause he's
puts
a
out,
hell of a seller.
he puts out a photo on his Twitter and that, and it's a nice concept piece that he's drawn up of something that's a rumor, and then it basically comes to light when it gets announced, and you're just like, does he just tease it and just go, oh, imagine if, this is just, because I can create
Yeah,
anything.
maybe it's a little...
If you
red string.
think of this, I'll create it.
Yeah.
And then you go, how much of this is true though? Because you think maybe he is just peppering the internet because
Yeah.
it's not going to get announced for a year or so, and everyone's going to forget
Maybe.
about it.
Or he's just really fucking good at what he does, like...
That as well.
But yeah, like media outlets, like we're still going to report on rumors because it's interesting. It gets clicks,
Exactly right.
and then a conversation comes out of it. The articles I don't like are just like, this is definitely happening.
Yeah.
Add.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. We were like, okay, what is it going to be if it happens?
Yeah.
Which I prefer. Like that's the content I
Let's just
listen
bring
to.
you guys a rumour so you can
fucking-
sort of get excited
Yeah,
for
and it
something.
starts a conversation. I like that.
We're not confirming anything's going to happen. We just
And look, it changed my mind. Like
Yeah,
remember
exactly
last
right.
week, I was like, yeah, shit, it's happening.
It
I
was
guess
a
I
quick
was
2
wrong.
weeks.
And then Monday morning, I was just like, come on.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing though. We still don't know.
Nobody knows.
It's thrown out by Sony, but that could just be them going,
And
shut up, just stop talking because you're ruining it all.
yeah. And then yesterday morning, we got guaranteed that we would see something from Spider-Man 3
Yeah.
in December.
Yeah.
They didn't say what. I think it's just going to be a title and logo.
It could just be the title.
That's
It could
what
be
I
like
reckon
when
it
they
is.
did the old ones and just have the black background Spider-Man title.
Because I remember, like, I lost my mind when they did Blade. We all knew it was coming, and then Blade still popped up, and I still, like, threw my slushy at the laptop and was like, yes! So, like, I'm happy with that. But I think it might also be a release window, maybe. It'll be, like, spring 2022.
It could be something, because I think they've only just started filming it. They're not going to have anything
It starts
to throw
filming
together.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Literally tomorrow.
And so you think that's mid-October. I don't think they could throw something together
No, God.
in that time. That's going to warrant at least.
If Venom 2 was shot in March and we haven't seen anything from Venom 2,
Fucking hell, we have not seen a thing.
yeah, I'm still predicting Super Bowl. If the Super Bowl happens, I think the NFL's kind of in cahoots.
Who knows what
in
happens.
turmoil right now. Not cahoots, that's the opposite.
But I think that will be big though. If the NFL does still go ahead, then that will be a big dumping ground, and a lot of marketing will go into that.
Yeah,
They'll
because
be loving it.
they don't have to promise times anymore.
Nah.
They don't. Tenet and James Bond ruined promising times.
Yeah.
Because they just kept disappointing. People lost interest.
Exactly.
Nobody went
and
and saw
now
Tenet.
and now a lot of places now are just sort of advertising the poster. So like
They're just like, this is a movie that is happening. We don't know.
Walking through our cinema, you see all the posters up, but there's nothing of a coming soon or a release date. It's just the poster, and you're like, I get it, but then it's like, I just don't know when.
Because, you still have to market something, but you don't
Yeah.
want to blow all the marketing here if
Yeah.
it's going to come out here.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to... Otherwise, you're paying the marketing budget twice. And...
Which is what Tenet did 3 times.
And even Disney can't do that.
No.
Okay, Disney can. But even
Yeah.
even Universal, like Paramount, whoever's doing Bond, like they pulled all marketing for Bond, started it again, and then fuck.
Really have to.
And then they just went, whoops.
Yep.
See you in April.
Maybe we'll see in April.
Maybe we'll see you in April.
Still don't fucking know. Getting trailers in the movies still. Every week that we're seeing these new movies that we go out and see, you're hoping for one good
even
trailer
just to see
something.
Morbius back again, like
just show me the Morbius
just
trailer.
let me see Michael Keaton again, please.
Yes. But no, you don't. You just get the little one-off movies. You see Rams every single time you go to the fucking movies.
Yeah, we got the new Liam Neeson. It's
Honestly,
like Taken 14, but it's not Taken.
I'm gonna be seeing that regardless of us
it's
reviewing
awesome.
it or not.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because it looks terrible, so we'll get to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Good cast too.
I'm gonna love it. You're gonna know that Liam Neeson's one of my favorite actors. I love everything he does.
The main guy, I fucking can't remember his name. Something Donovan. The main guy from Burn Notice is in it, and Burn Notice is like one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah,
you don't see him much. Like he was in Fargo season 2, and I was like, oh my god, see. So yeah, I'll go see that movie just for him.
Okay, then.
Jai Courtney's in it. He's Australian. We can be like, hey, Australian.
Yeah, Jai
Captain Boomerang.
He's always good. He's always a funny man. And the other one I just saw today was a new horror one called The Empty Man, which comes out in 2 weeks.
I bet you I can picture the trailer, the poster, the script, the ending, the credit font and logo. I bet you I can picture it all. I've never heard of it before in my life. You will show me.
I'm going to show you the picture.
You will show me, and
I'll pull it up
like,
on screen for you guys.
And I'll be like, "This is exactly."
So that's the poster.
Okay. Yeah.
Different to what you're thinking?
I thought it was going to be like that murky piss yellow background, like the Bye Bye Man,
and maybe like a demon hand.
Yeah, just something.
No, this is just
or a kid
triangles.
with blacked out eyes usually.
So the premise of this movie is basically it's an urban myth demon type thing. So basically,
3 times or something.
If you walk onto a bridge and you see an empty bottle, you blow into the bottle and you think about the empty man. On the first night, the first day, you see him. On the second day, the first day you hear him. The second day you see him, and the third day he kills you.
There are a bunch of horny teenagers like writing it down, just going, "Fuck, we
They're
have to do all of this." Fuck,
man.
man, jeez.
100%. I watch the trailer and I'm like, ooh, that one's up for debate. We'll see. We'll track that one on the back burner.
Is the trailer awful?
Yes.
Yes.
It's fucking awful.
Yes.
I can't wait to see it.
I was so hoping you would say that.
Yeah. But yeah, the Liam Neeson one doesn't seem too bad. But I'd tell you, the one I did sort of kind of get excited to see was the Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, Zach Braff one.
Didn't see it, I'm sorry.
You didn't see it in there?
Nah, I'm sorry.
Fuck, what was it called? It just looked really...
Some old guys and the guy from Scrubs, the movie, coming soon.
Yeah, but it's like, so they're like producers in the 70s or something, and he's basically... He owes money to Morgan Freeman as like sort of like a gang type deal. And they learn about big actors having like death insurance type thing.
Okay.
So someone was filming a movie, the guy died and got paid $5 million, and they're like, you know, the guy's dead and he gets paid $5 million. So then they put together this, we're going to film a movie, get an actor to do his own stunts, kill him, take his money, paid back. Okay. And it looks like a pretty funny, like,
yeah, right. I like
old
that.
Man type
That's
deal.
A funny premise.
Like De Niro, he's really old and he's got like this weird fuzzy hair and a massive mustache, but he acts like really young and youthful.
Yeah, right.
And Zach Braff is more acting older.
Yeah.
But I just love Zach because of Scrubs.
Funny. That sounds funny.
And Morgan Freeman's just basically young the whole time, just telling him to get his fucking money. And so what's the name of it? It was called The Comeback Trail.
Okay.
That's what it is. So I'm excited to see that one. Again, that is currently slated for November 13th.
Speaking of Adam being excited for something, there's a new Andy Samberg and Craig Robertson joint, pun intended, being cooked up That's another pun. I think that's a pun. I don't do drugs. I don't know.
No,
For a movie called Super High. It's a comedy where smoking weed gives you superpowers, which is an idea that only could have come from smoking weed.
yeah. And that would have been Craig Robinson and then going,
man, what if we did
good
this?
at making movies. Let's make this movie.
They
happen.
had Project Power on in the back, like far distance, and they're like, man, what if this did that?
Well,
movie.
It also could just be the fact that Craig Robinson was in Pineapple Express and went, I could make a drug movie about weed.
Yeah, easy.
I'll make it superheroes.
I'm probably the only person who couldn't, because I don't know if Cook was a joke or not.
We'll find out. Let us know in the comments if it was or not. Alright, that's about all the news that we'll hit there. There's nothing else really around.
There's a lot of news.
There's some decent things out there. See, there's more news than there are fucking movies out there right now.
Yep.
So, which takes us to our new movie, City of Lies. As I said, this is the new but old movie based on the murder of Notorious B.I.G. and how there has been no solved case about it since it happened 25 odd years ago, however long it was. Starring Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. They're the only notable people in this movie. Everyone else is basically an extra.
Yeah.
So, this movie originally came out in 2018.
Okay.
It finished filming in 2017. Now, this movie only came out in Italy in the end of 2018 at a film festival.
Okay.
It then got pulled from scheduling due to a lawsuit happening between Johnny Depp and the film's location manager. This was due to an apparent assault of Johnny Depp to a crew member. Johnny Depp claimed he was in self-defense, yada yada yada, all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
The real sort of reports coming out of this was that the film was possibly being suppressed by the LAPD.
Yeah.
Because they were implicated in the film as bad people, and
boy were they.
Obviously it's gonna,
gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, we wonder. As well as possibly maybe other people that didn't want the film to be released. So this movie came out nowhere. For 2 years it sat dormant.
Yeah.
It only got released in Italy on DVD out there as well. And then Australia went, oh, we'll take it.
We'll have it. We're open.
So we got it October 15th this year. And so...
Fuck, I'm glad we did, because this movie is incredible. This is a fucking wonderful movie.
Wonderful. So,
I absolutely loved this movie.
So directed by Brad Furman.
Don't know who that is.
He's a very small... He's done about 5 movies.
Yep.
But he did The Lincoln Lawyer, the Matthew McConaughey one.
People love that movie.
He did The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston.
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it, haven't seen it, but it's Bryan Cranston and something a little decent. $1.6 million budget on this one, which is surprising considering they had Johnny Depp on this.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah,
but Johnny Depp's been going through a time, so
yeah,
I think he's just happy to have the work.
112-minute runtime, manageable, decent.
Yep.
Again, because this hasn't been out anywhere but Italy, it has no critic score.
There's no box office or anything.
But there is a 63% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's probably based on about 3 people.
In Italy.
In Italy.
Yeah, I like it a movie.
Yeah, so as well as it being, locked away for 2 years, the only other noticeable person starring this is actually Biggie's mum. Herself is in the movie.
Yeah.
So that's actually her at the end of the movie.
Very, very sweet lady.
And it's just like, oh, she's nice.
She's a lovely lady.
So yeah, so what do we think of it?
I love this movie. I'm so obsessed already with LA, and then I'm so obsessed even more with LA in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the writing, all the civil rights stuff, just so fucking interesting to me. Like I could watch the Defiant ones if it went for 30 seasons,
Yeah.
I'm so interested in, again, the Defiant ones, like all that rap stuff. Never listen to it. I would never listen to it.
Yeah.
I have human ears. But I'm so fascinated with like how they were actual gangs and stuff. Like, it's so scary, but...
And I guess also for the fact that
also cool.
This is a very, real true crime case of...
That's my next point.
This is a massively unsolved murder of one of the biggest people in rap history that no one knows what the fuck happened.
I fucking love unsolved mysteries. I love cold case files. All that stuff. Like, I'm just such... That's why I have Netflix. I'm just such a sucker for all that. even though it frustrates me so bad because I just want to know.
Exactly.
But yeah, this movie is just like, it's just the perfect stirring pot for me personally, just to be like glued to it, because I was like so fascinated by this.
It does draw you in. It's really good in the fact that I liked it purely because I knew nothing of the Biggie case or
I didn't know that. I didn't know the story.
I've never been involved in that. I've never questioned anything. I never knew much about it other than no one knows who did it.
Because the Defiant Ones goes more into Tupac and Suge Knight.
Yeah.
So like I knew about that stuff, but I didn't even know Biggie Smalls and Notorious B.I.G. were the same person.
Oh my god.
I thought they were two different people.
Yeah.
So when it was like switching between like in the interviews and stuff, I was like, man, he looks really similar. And then it was just like the biggest dumb moment. It was very like, I was just like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. It's got the same word in it.
So the people that want to know, the quick, I mean, we can say spoiler free, but this is a case that if you know about Big in that, you know about this case. So
if you've listened to a 90s hip hop song, you know the story. Yeah. Like straight up.
So basically all this movie is a retelling of the events that happened back in 97 and that when these murders happened, based on the detective that was assigned to the case and his findings, who he thought did it, the lawsuits and everything that followed from it.
What happened to him and his career because of it.
What happened by the end of it. Forrest Whitaker is playing a journalist who is trying to reopen
I love that.
This case.
I love the way this was told. Non-linear, non-chronological, like going between. So you're building a relationship with him and the journalist is kind of the audience. So like you're kind of, as he is like falling in love with Russell and really like, he's really endearing, like you the audience are just like, like keep telling the story please, like go back to the 90s, I want to see this. So I just love the way it was told. It's such a great creative decision. Yeah,
it is told really well. And so basically, Johnny Depp plays Detective Russell Poole, who was the lead guy on the case of the Biggie murder. And up until he got taken off the case for reasons that happened and accusations that got thrown out and lawsuits that were made and the implications of the LAPD themselves.
Basically, all of his evidence pointed to there's corruption within the police force. He didn't have to look very hard to find out that there was a lot of corruption in the police force.
Yeah.
It's probably a cop who killed Biggie. Probably. He was definitely there. And he definitely had the car in his garage and all all that. But yeah, so, of course, he got snuffed out to shush it. And then when he tried to bring it up in 2015 in real life, he got told, bro, no one gives a fuck.
This is evidence from 20 years ago.
We can't do anything.
It's really hard to sort of bring up again.
Yeah.
And then has a heart attack and dies.
Yep.
And that's
happened in real life as well.
Yeah.
So, and it's just so fascinating. Like, you see all the riot footage from the 90s of the Rodney King murder.
Yeah.
And you watch that footage and you're just like, I saw that footage in March this year happen again. Like, it is still fucking happening.
I did get the chills from that as well, and I'm just like...
It made me feel so, like, uncomfortable. And they put that, like, right at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just like...
But it really felt like you were watching it from now, because that exact scenario you see, people flipping cars and burning shit.
Exactly the same.
And cops out in force trying to fucking knock people down. You're like... The times have not changed one bit. And I don't know if that's intentional. Obviously not, because this was filmed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 3 years ago nearly now.
Yeah, God.
So, the riots that happened recently are not what happened back then, but it plays really well to right now.
Yeah, the systematic racism and stuff, corruption within the LAPD, that is still going. That has still been going the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's because of detectives like Russell Poole getting shushed.
Yep.
I fucking love his angry boss. He's got the coolest voice, and when he's yelling at him, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Because he's a good yeller.
Yeah.
He's like this angry old man. He looks familiar, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
I looked him up and I was just like, he's just got one of those faces.
It's just that face it looks, but...
I love when they're showing the flashbacks, when it's set in the 90s, it looks like the 90s, like there's a nice film grain and a tinge and like sort of a sepia, like it's not like an Instagram filter slapped on it.
Yeah.
But you can tell like they 90s it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, again, just being obsessed with the 90s, like I was just like,
Yeah.
I love that. That's just so cool.
And then with that, I think the possibly the greatest near intro of a movie was, so obviously the film starts with the chase down of the black guy in the car with the white guy for telling him, hey, you just like all of them. Same in that, and there's a shooting in that, but then the introduction of Russell Poole, and you get the Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of in the back. And they did it so well because they did it how movies should do it, and that's cutting up the song properly.
Keeping it going.
To suiting how, like, the scenes are progressing. Yeah. And just when it comes in, you're just like, oh, listen to that.
So sick. It's
listen
so
to that.
sick. Again, adding to the 90s. Just so sick. Yeah, and then, like, even early on, like, that shooting, they're both cops. So you're just like, okay, this is going to be about the cops. Pretty much. No. What else did I want to say? No, keep going with your point and I'll think of what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so then, you get the Rage Against the Machine and then Johnny Depp slick back, blonde mustache.
He looks good, man.
Thick in force.
He's awesome in this movie.
He's a great looking detective. He fits a detective role really well.
He's a chameleon, man. Like, there are still moments where you're watching him and you're like, oh, it's Johnny Depp. And like, the best actors you watch and you don't go, that's Johnny Depp. You don't go, that's Chris Evans. You go, that's Steve Rogers, Captain America. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, with Johnny Depp, like...
Johnny Depp, you just put anything, you're like, that's Johnny Depp.
Put a mustache on him. No.
We haven't done that fucking...
But he's so great.
3,000 times already.
His transition from the 90s to the modern day, like, he's not like a surly, insane, crazy person.
Yeah.
Like, the apartment, they pan around the apartment and it looks like he's going to be this crack job, like the tinfoil hat guy. But he's not. He's still super astute and switched on and stuff. I did a little bit of reading about Russell Poole, and apparently that's completely accurate. He was just like still a good cop 20 years after he was a cop.
Yeah.
And like just like he was not an insane person. Like the cops just painted that.
Yeah, exactly right. Which I mean, as you would if you're getting such wild accusations thrown your way.
My only problem with it was repeating the Biggie murder. So early on in the movie, you see the full flashback of the Biggie murder.
Yeah.
And then later, when he's describing it to his partner and like mapping it all out on the stuff, then they flash back to it again.
Yeah.
I would have liked just that.
Yeah.
Just the one flashback. We didn't need to repeat it again.
I think they repeat it.
That felt like a bit of padding for time.
I feel like it was that, but then also just trying to add in like another quick little scene as the movie progressed and you started to learn new things.
And also people who just don't know about the Notorious B.I.G. murder and don't know about all of those stuff.
Yeah.
The whole world surrounding it at that time. But I just thought, because that scene was really well shot and edited when he's like, he maps it out on the thing and then it cuts to real life and he's there.
Yeah, I did really enjoy that. Yeah.
And it helps you keep track of characters because there's a lot of characters and names thrown around in this movie. Like a lot.
That's a fucking fair few.
They edit it and shoot it enough to where if they say the word D-Mac, boom, he's there on screen. Yeah. Like, you just
kind of... So it's clear in your mind so you can sort of go, yep, that's D-Mac.
That being said, I don't remember Forrest Whitaker's character's name.
Jackson.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker, fuck, he's good in this as well.
He looks pretty slim in this one too.
He looks good.
He was looking pretty well for himself. He was looking youthful.
Yeah, but God, those two together on screen, it's just like...
They had chemistry.
Yeah.
They really did.
100%. It felt like they were old buddies.
Yeah. Considering the sort of movie that they were going on, it was more or less based on Johnny Depp the whole time because it's going back to the 90s.
It's his story.
And then now, and he's sort of there just listening to those parts. And the only other parts you see of Jack is him giving his findings to his boss or saying he's got news or whatever else. And up until his death at the end, there's not much more about him other than he's just trying to reopen this case and do some journalistic work and try and get people to go, hey, we need to look into this again.
Yeah,
it's still unsolved.
And it's still happening, so...
It's still going on.
You could tie some ropes there.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of Russell's family hates him a little bit. But there's a nice emotional moment at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as much of a hate thing. It's more of just he was a cop invested in his work, as most of them are.
But it's sort of implied that they were led to believe that he was a crack job.
Yeah.
So the newspaper at the end, like, celebrating him as a cop and a person.
Yeah.
That's a nice emotional moment.
Yeah, it's nice to
say,
really
hey, nice
your dad's not who other people.
It's a fucking really nice ending, actually.
Mm.
It hit.
It's a strange movie. It's a strange movie. Like, So, for you guys to know, this movie came about after we filmed the Hubie Halloween episode, and as I was sat there editing the audio and said, oh, what can we do for next week? And then I see City of Lies. I'm going, what's this?
Yeah, it just kind of came out.
Watched the trailer and went, oh, it's about the Biggie murders, and it's got Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. And obviously, it's fucking paid dividends for you.
Yeah. I love this movie. I really, really love this movie.
I did. I enjoyed this movie. I mean, I feel like it's definitely a movie for people that are interested in this case. Anyone that is a fan of Biggie, anyone that's sort of interested in a true crime, unsolved
I feel like
mystery.
you do have to like biopics to watch this.
Yeah.
Biopics are a very, very certain type of person likes a biopic. And especially if they're done well like this.
Exactly right.
That's just me.
Because that's where it comes down to. When
shit.
when that initial role comes up at the front of the movie and it says, based on a true story, you're either going to go, fuck yes, or you're going to go, oh, what are they going to do to this to butcher this?
Yeah, but you get some cool documentary footage of him and Tupac. It really sets the scene early that they had no problem with each other. They were actually quite friendly with each other.
Yeah.
It was all the labels and stuff. And
it was them trying to make,
on the streets and stuff.
As it always is with those times and that, and we see it in other movies, Straight Outta Compton, all that sort of shit.
Also, fantastic movie.
Also, very fantastic movie. But I still feel that most people can watch this movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Get some enjoyment out of it because obviously it's not an action movie. It's not a edge of your seat type deal. It's literally just to sit back and go, I wonder.
That's just people
the full
talking.
Detail of what happened here and what leads they had, who they thought, because no one still knows.
Yeah.
Suge Knight's in jail and saying, "Oh, maybe I know shit, maybe I don't."
And again, you can follow it so closely.
It is told really well, and it's you're not going to get thrown off in a tangent, being like, "Wait, but what happened over here?"
Yeah, there's no oh god, we gotta watch 20 minutes of him sucking up to his kid. No.
Yeah.
Even when he is watching his kid and there's the family dynamic there, Jack's still there fucking pressing him for questions and stuff. So the movie rolls along. There's no stalling.
Yeah. No, it's shot really well. It looks beautiful most of the time. Anyway,
such a good looking movie,
and it's acted really well for Johnny Depp as a person. It's a very I want to say more of a relaxed role for him. It's really just him having to sit down and retell his own story, and then the flashback scenes is literally just him walking around asking questions.
Yeah. Because Russell Crowe was just a normal white dude.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp can just be like, oh, thank God. I don't have to do a silly voice.
Yeah.
I don't have to put on a stupid hat.
So there's nothing over dramatic about this movie. There's nothing that seems overdone.
It's incredibly human, grounded.
It's very...
It has to be.
It's very just good. I think the only takeaways that people will take from this is that this is a movie that still doesn't have an ending.
Yeah.
So you're not going to watch this movie and get an outcome. You're just going to get what we all still know.
Yeah.
And that...
Which is a lot.
Still no one knows...
He knew a lot.
Who shot Biggie in that.
Yeah.
So you got to go into it understanding that you're not going to get answers from this movie. This isn't hey, at the end we're going to tell you what the meaning of life is. No, you don't get that. It's just... This is a detective side of the story of what happened, and it might shed a different light on the theories that you may have on it. Take it as that, put that in your knowledge bank, away you go.
Yep.
But don't come for it expecting answers on who shot Biggie, because no one still knows.
Yeah, they didn't make something up for it.
No, that's the one thing.
That would have been
unbelievably
disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly right.
Especially since his mother is literally...
Exactly right. She's coming in bed. Imagine that they're sitting in the diner, he just goes, yep, fucking... this cop did it.
Yeah.
And then the movie just ends. She's like... and the movie ends, and you're like...
Yeah, there's a very nice moment where she... Because this was filmed after Detective Poole died in real life.
Yeah.
So you have that nice moment where she kind of says what she wanted to say to him to Johnny Depp. And it's such a realistic, super emotional performance. And she's not acting. She's clearly not acting. She's speaking as if, she's actually speaking to Detective Poole. And you can see Johnny Depp, react. On set, he must have been just ooh, wow.
Yeah.
That felt... Okay.
That felt real.
I have to just be really respectful here.
Yeah.
And just... Because, it's a touchy subject. Holy
100%.
shit.
She's got to sit there and go, okay, he's making a movie about the murder of my son
My
that happened
literal
25
son,
odd years
yeah.
ago, and
That I still don't know the answer to.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly
as
right.
a mother, holy shit.
that's the worst thing when you got to think about it. It's just like, it's not that all these people that idolized Biggie and, you know, loved his music and that lost an idol and that.
Yeah.
It's the fact that a mother lost her child and has not a single answer.
No.
Just constant press and theories and fake news to think, does she even bother like clutching at any straws anymore?
No.
Does a new case come out and she just goes, or does she just go,
you know what?
I've got to make peace
Tell
with
me
it
if
now.
you have an answer. But
Yeah.
even then, probably not.
Yeah, she'd be like, I've made peace with it now, and that's got to be it.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
I always forget that Snoop Dogg had a straightened middle part, long hair for a little minute.
yeah.
That freaked me out when I saw it. No, it's just like, holy fuck. That's Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
He looks like a 12-year-old schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah.
That's Snoop Dogg.
I know.
That's the coolest motherfucker in the world.
D-O-double-G. The man.
Anyway,
But
Tupac was a good bloke too.
Tupac is a good bloke. That was something that...
Yeah, if you want to know more about Tupac, they don't go into Tupac in this movie.
No, they literally mentioned
Watch the
it.
Defiant ones.
Yeah, they mentioned it like once or twice about Tupac as well, but the idea of this movie is Biggie.
It's Biggie, yeah.
It's all about him. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Pretty much,
this
yeah.
movie.
It's a fucking wonderful movie.
Decent movie.
Fantastic movie.
I enjoyed it. Watch it if you want to. If you don't know anything about, you know, the murder and that, and want to know a bit about it, this is a really good way to learn about it and have an idea of what actually happened. And
it's not even 2 hours long.
Nah, not even 2 hours long. It's very manageable, and if you love Johnny Depp, it's an excuse to look at him be fat for a while.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Good movie.
Great movie.
All right, so let's end it with some questions, shall we?
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
Fuck, I hope they're as weird as I wanted them to be.
Yeah,
I haven't actually looked yet.
One of them is, surprisingly, we only have one movie one, and that's from Brooke, so we'll start with her first. Straight from the Instagram page. So she asked, favourite movie or doco about a musician or band? Good one. For me, I say Straight Outta Compton.
Right. That is a good one. Fuck, you put me on the spot here.
Yeah, I know. Oh, trust me, I saw it and I had to, like, Google fucking movies and docos about musicians, so I'm like, well, what's actually something decent?
I really love Walk the Line, Joaquin Phoenix, about Johnny Cash.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up, my granddad was a Johnny Cash diehard, so like this is burned into me, and the fact that that's a really good movie as well helped. I loved all the documentary that Sam Dunn did. It's not one musician, but all his metal, the Headbanger Journey, World Metal, all that. He does awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a documentary about music.
Yeah. I didn't really watch too many about them. I remember watching the Metallica, the Enter Sandman, the Some Kind of Monster one. Yeah, that's the one. I rented it from Dapto Library.
Nice.
And I watched that and I'm like, yeah, that was cool. And then as I grew up, I realised that I hate Metallica.
Fuck off.
Sorry. Don't hate Metallica.
Yeah, but it's hard to watch that movie because you're just like, oh, they're just a bunch of old grumpy men who don't like each other.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, there's not really too many other ones. Like Straight Outta Compton was the only one that sort of came to me because it was a really good movie. It was, again, something that I knew nothing about, but I just really loved how it was. And there's nothing else really that I draw myself to in regards to musicians other than saying maybe the Parkway DVDs.
Yeah. Yeah, any actual band filmed.
Yeah.
Like Lamb of God are really, really good with those as well.
One, that's one of my
They're
favorites.
really good. Like, super honest.
Yeah.
Fucking, you see some shit.
You see them just punch each other and fucking fight and then go, I love it.
Anything that's not The Dirt. I've spoken about it before.
We have spoken about it before.
Love Motley Crue. I love Jeff Tremaine. I love the book. What the fuck happened to that movie? Jesus Christ, it's a bad movie.
Oh, Jesus. Alright, let's move to the Facebook then. From my boy Jacob, something you have done that you will never do again.
Oh my god, so many things. Holy crap.
Narrow it down to one.
Love a woman? That didn't go well for me last time, did it? Fucking still feeling that one. It was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, if you follow Jack on Twitter, you'll know all about it.
Jesus Christ, will you know about it? There's a lot of things. I know I'm obsessed with LA and I'm going to go to LA, but I would love to never sit on a plane again.
Yeah.
My biggest fear, I fucking hate sitting on a plane. Probably work at my job. Tomorrow's probably going to be my last day. Subscribe, please.
Please subscribe and start donating on our Twitch.
I could use a job. I don't know. I don't really have a funny or a really heartfelt answer.
Yeah,
my funny and my heartfelt one are kind of true because I wasn't joking about falling in love with a girl.
I don't know. Mine maybe get a mortgage.
Really? Yeah, fucking hell, fuck that.
It's a big minus bank account.
God damn.
Like you open a new bank account for it to be minus $500,000, and you go.
Yeah, on a much smaller scale, I can't imagine buying a new car again.
Yeah, I was close to.
Much smaller scale. Yeah, I'm close to it.
I was recently about to, and I'm just like.
Every weekend I get bored, and I'm just like, car sales.
No, I went straight up, and I'm like, Mum, what will Toyota take for my car and give me for a new RAV4 Cruiser? And I got the price, and I'm like, that's a really fair price. And I looked at my budget, and I went, it doesn't fit.
The problem is, finance is the illusion of it being cheap. Like, you can get a car financed, and you're like, wow, only $100 a week? But then it's like over 11 years, and then they also pretty much charge you double. So, don't finance a car unless you know for a fact the figure at the end. Kids, do your research.
See, I got lucky with mine. When I bought mine, it was 0% interest.
I got lucky with mine because mine's a very cheap car, and some drunk idiot rode off my other car.
Fair.
So we got a decent insurance payout for it.
Very nice.
Because it wasn't my fault. And also my neck will hurt forever. But that's a different story. Yeah, no, I don't really have a nice answer for that.
Yeah, neither do I. The mortgage thing is a lie. I love having a house. It's really good to have. Yeah, I don't really know.
I haven't done that many I've never been skydiving because I would never go skydiving in the first place.
That's the thing.
So I wouldn't do it twice.
But this is the thing. I don't know if I've done anything where I more or less regret. Like, if I've done something, I've done it for a reason.
Given my physical condition, I'll probably never get drunk again. Like, drunk again.
Smart.
Like, never, like, house party out of control drunk again. Like, I was already sort of over that anyway, just, like... Because I just get tired at, like, 9 o'clock.
It's completely fucking fair.
And, like, you know, your body like... Your parents tell you about this all the time, but with age, I know we're not that old, but with age, fuck me, you feel it for a few days now. If you have a big night, it's not a one morning thing anymore. It goes one morning. Well, it goes no mornings. You feel great the next day. You can go to school, you can go to work. And then it goes, morning, a few hours, you feel a bit shit. And then it's half the day. And then I'm at the point now where it's like 3 days of a hangover.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, and then just given my health in general.
Yeah, I know I'm drinking right now, but...
I'll have a drink like watching the supercars or whatever, but...
I'll drink one drink a day, maybe, if I do. And that's only if I have something here. The only reason I have now is because Steve and Emma bought me a case of Canadian Club for my birthday. Yeah. So it's going to last me the
gift
rest of the month.
alcohol rules.
Exactly right. So I'm just like, I haven't been drunk in at least 6 years.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I was like drunk. Even my last fuck off house party, my housewarming, it got to about 9:30 and I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I just can't. Good. I've been tipsy a couple times and that's when I felt the point because I was a drunk that would always throw up at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate doing that.
When you spend your late teens, early 20s constantly going over the line, it's very easy to know where the line is.
Yep, and now I know.
Yeah.
I feel it, and I go, stop.
And this is such old man dad talk, but it's good advice. Like
100%. You're not who you used to be, and honestly, it's not fucking worth it, man.
And you should, like, when you're 18 and stuff, go fucking nuts because you are like a rubber band. Like, you just snap back straight away. You're good.
100%.
You are good.
But just
you'll do some dumb shit.
But really fucking think about it, man. Like, you think the money that but like, even if you are 18, 19, 20, whatever, think about the money that you are going to be spending going out on a night out and think of where that money could get you somewhere else.
Yeah.
I know fucking kids love getting bags and all this shit. And I hear how much that shit costs and I go, that's nearly my mortgage payment for the week.
Yeah, and also...
Are you sure?
When you're 18, it'll feel like everyone cares. It feels like the whole world is watching you and if you don't drink, you're a pussy. You know, like, it feels like the weight of the world is like, I have to do this. No one remembers the next day if you drank or not. No one fucking cares. If you don't feel like drinking, don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Flat simple. Or just have one.
Yeah, just find your limit and
drink some nice. You can have one and you'll be fine.
Man, I'm cool. I'm cool with this as my limit. I'm here. Good.
Exactly right.
And that's like, fucking, that's fine.
Yeah.
You do you. Stay safe.
Yeah, exactly right.
Look after yourself.
That got deep then.
Or,
I like that.
Or you could have a heart attack at 27 for no reason.
Exactly right. Take it from a guy who knows.
Because honestly, like, real talk, yeah, let's get deep. Like, that's probably where I came from, was 18 to 23. I was just a piece of shit loose cannon.
Yeah.
God damn, did I... Never did drugs. I still... they don't interest me. I was too busy drinking.
I was the same.
I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, honestly, like, it does fuck you up later in life.
Mm.
Or pretty early in life, in my case.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It happens. It fucking happens.
And honestly, this fucking sounds lame too. Talk to your parents about it.
Fucking A.
Talk to your mates about it. Talk to your parents. Talk to anyone. Just be like...
Anyone who's old and has that experience, they'll all go back and tell the same shit. And
they will tell you the same thing.
Because I remember, same thing, being back kids, and everyone older would tell you, just fucking be careful.
Be careful. It's going to hurt.
And it is. And
it's going to hurt.
Oh, whatever. You fucking shit's changing. Shit. Trust me. I remember when everyone used to tell me, oh, you'll miss school.
God, no.
To some extent, nowadays, I kind of do.
I miss not having to have a job because I went to school.
That, and just being around friends every single day.
Yeah.
And just being a lot healthier and just playing a lot more sport and shit.
But even that, like, the good ones stick around.
Yeah.
The good mates stick around, and the people who don't really matter go off and
you know who you are, guys.
And have fucking 7 kids in my case. My entire year group, just everyone has kids. There's nothing wrong with having kids, but it's just very different to where I went. I bought a PS4.
I hate kids. Hey, I would fucking swaddle that PS4 much easier than I would swaddle a fucking baby.
If you're listening to this and you have a kid, don't ever ask me to hold it or be near. I've never held a baby in my life, and it's too late to ask how.
No, honestly, it's the fucking weirdest thing ever. It sucks because you can't gauge the weight of the baby, so when you're holding it, you think it's going to be lighter than what it is, and it's a bit heavy, and you go, but then as soon as you're holding it, you're going, if I drop it...
That's the thing, like, I hate kids, but I don't want to harm a child.
Yeah, no.
I still want to be as careful as ever, and it'll just make me nervous.
But then that's why the best thing is just go, no, you keep that, I don't want a fucking bar of it.
Yeah.
And I don't. I'm sorry to all my friends who have kids and any that are going to have kids. I will be their uncle, but I'm going to hate them until they're at least 18.
And what's more rude, saying that or dropping their fucking
Exactly right. Like, I hate, like, please don't be offended if I say, I don't want to see your baby, I don't want to hold your baby, I don't want to do anything with it. It's just that I don't do well with kids.
That's another thing too, advice. People are like, oh, you'll grow into it, you'll soften, you'll love kids. I'm 27.
I was the opposite. Originally, I was like, yeah, I could be okay with having kids now. I'm like, take my dick now, I don't care.
I always... I
don't want it.
Nearly 28 and it hasn't popped up. I'm not like, oh man, I'd love to.
Now you're getting to the good time where it's a bit too late.
God, thank God.
I can't wait to be there too. All right, big tangent there for getting some extra time. We do a philosophy
podcast now.
There we are.
We do a life advice podcast.
All right. So let's go with Daniel. He's come in to say, if you could go back in time and change the past, would you? And if so, what would you change and why?
We're going to get deep again because yes. I would go to school and I would try and I would focus. I would pick out something I wanted to do and do it. I wouldn't stop giving a shit again.
Fair.
Because it's been 10 years and I still don't know what I'm doing and it's a little bit shit. Like, it's fine. I got a lot of freedom and I'm happy. Don't chill out. I'm happy. I like doing this. But yeah, it would have been nice to be a bit more stable in these turbulent times. Like,
yeah, without a doubt. But I mean, I think it's still... Nothing is ruled out of your life, no matter how old you are.
Oh, no, God.
You still have a path in front of you.
There is no fucking time limit.
So, for me, no, I wouldn't go back and change a thing.
Yeah, right.
Because if I went back and changed a thing, I wouldn't be where I am now.
True. I'd drink a little bit less.
You can go back and just drink a little bit less. And
just a little bit.
Maybe the heart attack would have come in your late 30s.
Yeah, I was also very jubilant with my fast food intake. I chilled out with that as well.
I know, but you just kind of have to be. But
yeah,
I don't believe in ever having to go back. Even looking at the past in general, I think what happens in the past happens for a reason, and it needs to stay there. There's no point ever trying to track backwards. Always just look forward to whatever is to come ahead of you. But in saying that, I never look forward in time. I don't put myself
I do not look at the
task.
future.
I take every day, that day.
Yeah. I was doing that today, actually, when I was thinking about work tomorrow and how it probably won't be there after tomorrow. I was just kind of like, yeah, that's all right.
There's other shit
There's
out
options. It's like fucking...
JB Hi-Fi have about 40 Christmas casual positions open.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking go stock CDs for fucking a month for Christmas.
Not having to talk to anyone.
Oh
not having to
God.
do a roster again. Oh. Please let me stack shelves. Like, fuck me. I would do anything to stack shelves. But no, I just generally like just not being there, just missing heaps. Just because I couldn't be fucked. Like, there was no good reason.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be fucked, and yeah, I would just turn up. Could be fucked a little bit more.
Okay.
I would turn my fuck up a little bit. Just to like show up at least
just slightly.
At least 4 days a week, like as opposed to 2.5 on a good week.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, just move forward in life. Don't go back. Never think about the past.
And also, punch Hitler. That's probably the answer he wanted?
I guess, yeah. Stick a pineapple at Hitler's butt and just... Away you go.
Just give him a good old kick up the behind.
Yeah, really make something to go hating about. I've saved the best one to last.
I would stop the motherfucker from eating a bat so I could watch a movie.
I didn't want us to go down this path, but you're all thinking it. We're thinking it. Jack said it. There you go.
Travis just there off his fucking tits, just like, fuck man, this kebab looks so good, bro. I'd be like, mate, the kebab,
that's not a kebab.
I'd just turn him a little bit and be like, the kebabs are over there. This is probably incredibly racist. The kebabs just over there. I don't know the situation. I know some can't eat a bat, and that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a wet market. Okay, look,
we're
not going to get into it. Some people say it was that. Some people say it wasn't. Leave it at that. We don't need to get into it.
What does old Donnie Trump say? No, it's not.
Let's not get into that. But
I got a sports bet ad to bet on the US election. We are in rural Australia. We live in a small country town in Australia, and we're getting betting ads on the US election. It is
the
TV.
Fucking US of A, man.
It's insane.
Y'all are fucked.
Y'all
are fucked.
Y'all don't need Jesus because that keeps ruining elections.
100%. Yeah, you were going to have Kanye for president at one stage there. Until he went.
You'll need a goddamn human being. Elect a human being, please.
Yeah, fucking elect someone. Speaking of the US, brings me to my last question that I saved for last.
That's good. Great.
It's a really bad one.
I'm sure this is going to be great.
This one comes from Lachlan, and he simply said, was 9/11 an inside job?
Fuck me.
We're not allowed to say that.
No, it wasn't. No, there is no fucking possible way.
I will always joke and say yes.
Talk about documentaries. Do you know how many 9/11 documentaries I've watched? As someone who's scared of planes and flying, I just dive into that shit. No, it wasn't. It was just an act of terrorism. It was a 100%. Disgusting.
It happens everywhere. Say whatever you want.
George Bush was the dumbest motherfucker on the planet.
Yeah.
He did not orchestrate that.
Not a chance.
And he just wouldn't. Nobody is like that.
No, and especially not Bush of all people. But
no,
stop it. I will always joke and say yes, but deep down, my honest opinion is no. That's
God no.
It's terror, and whether or not there was something orchestrated, we'll never know. Just like the Biggie murder.
True. You brought it all back. Well done.
Brought it all back around.
You're a good host.
Try me best. So,
well done,
guys. Thank you for sticking around and supporting the podcast as you do. We do appreciate everything that you do for us. Commenting, sharing any posts, doing whatever you can to get us a bit more exposure because it's slowly happening.
Brooke shared a post this morning and we got like 5 subs and heaps of views and stuff.
Yeah, sharing Staten Island video is now #1 on the channel.
We are not taking the piss. Like word of mouth, like full transparency. I accidentally dropped $50 on an Instagram ad. And what buying an Instagram ad does is buy likes.
That's all it
doesn't buy website clicks. It doesn't buy subscribers. No. Nobody follows. Everyone just... Because it comes up in their feed and they just like it. Or bots like it.
There was one that I did and I dropped $20 on one and we got about 1,600 likes on one photo.
Which would have been
maybe
great
about 2 follows.
In the age where you could see the number of likes. So people see 1,600 likes.
Yeah.
Oh, this must be a good podcast, you know? Like, it is a good podcast. So in this day and age, you can buy all the likes you want. It doesn't do anything. Word of mouth, it's literally straight away. You notice more plays.
100%.
We are not just blind.
We're in the age where people don't like to share things anymore.
No.
And I'm not digging anyone 100. I get it. 100% I can get it. But it is so easy just to click share.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to write anything. Like you just hit share.
Think of your friends list of 20 people. Think of my friends list of 20 people. There's no overlap.
Yeah.
It's 40 people that you're sharing this podcast to. So, you know, just think of it like that. Think of the spread.
Just stop thinking of all the big people that you're subscribed to and that, because they were small once upon a time.
Yeah.
And they would not be where they were if people weren't spreading their work.
And algorithms, like, if you think, oh, none of my friends will listen to this or like this, that's okay, but the algorithm might still just be like, oh, this has a number of shares, we'll put it in front of more people.
Yeah.
That's how algorithms work.
Exactly. There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if all your friends don't like movies. That's
doesn't
okay.
matter.
That's absolutely okay.
But if one person in there does...
and I'm on the podcast.
If one person in your list does...
Yeah, exactly.
That's one person that can subscribe to us, connect with us.
And, like, look at Twitter. Like, half of your Twitter feed is people you don't know. It's just, like, people you do know liking stuff, you know? So the reach is incredible. Like, word of mouth is genuinely everything. So do that. We're going to stop buying likes because...
We're going to stop doing that. We're going to put money into elsewhere funds, which we're getting very close to deadline day for what's coming new to this.
Hell yeah.
And it's going to redesign this podcast to a more professional level. I can almost just give it away, but I still don't announce it yet.
Boy, doesn't need it.
But we did get the first draft, and I'm very happy with just the first draft look at it. And
the draft alone, I was like, holy fuck.
All that was just him, like, putting the layout to go, this is how it's going to be positioned with the most basic drawing. And I'm like, wow, you were like...
That's done. It's good to go. Let's debut it.
We can fucking use that. That'll be fine.
It was very good.
So I'm very excited to see how it comes up finished. So there is something new coming soon. There is going to be more new stuff coming soon as we have funds available, because we're not sponsored by anything. We don't have ads.
We don't ask you for money, and we won't ask you for money.
No, we won't.
Especially for sharing.
Exactly right.
Completely free.
Everything is completely free. So that's a little rant done, I guess, on that one there. So
it's been a while since we've done it.
Oh no, you kind of have to. But it's been a good little growth. It's slowly getting there. So thank you everyone who does support and shares,
thank you very
comments,
much.
Does everything like that. We do appreciate all of you individually. So on that note, let's end it here. And I'm going to tell you right now that my name is Adam, and I have been one half of the You Like That podcast. And Jack, who are you again?
I'm too tired to make a joke. My name is Jack. I am the other half of the You Like That podcast.
Very simple. I like that.
Next week I'll try and really drag it out.
That's all right. We were able to drag this out to an hour again, so I'm very happy right now. All right, guys.
We're good at this. God damn it.
We'll see you next week on the next one.